Hey Cougars, this is Mr. York. Today we're talking about how to outline text in Final Cut Pro. Upper left-hand corner of your window in Final Cut Pro, which is right here, you have three icons that we've already talked about. The first one is our clapboard that kind of shows our library as well as what's inside our library, all of our clips. And in this case, I've got a clip of some teachers from the balloon launch last Friday. Next to that, we've got our sound effects and our music. And to the right of that, we have a T for text or titles. I tend to stay away from the 3D titles, cinematic ones, the 360 ones. Those ones tend to make our computers freeze more than others. So instead, what I do is I usually use a 2D title and I outline it so that you can see it on top of everything else. If you look at our footage that we have here, we've got plenty of space, but we also are trying to put text on top of a picture, and that doesn't always work real well unless you outline it. There we go. So I'm just going to drag down a basic title, extend it a little bit. You can see we've got teachers walking out. I don't want to put titles on top of people's faces typically. In this case, I'm going to head and put it down here in the grass area since there's nothing there. We'll see how that works. My computer's lagging a little bit, so I don't know how well this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot anyhow. I think part of it is just I have a lot of things going on this computer right now, and I probably need to back up everything. As I move my title, if it's on that yellow line, I know it's centered. Over here on the right-hand side, let's see if this works. I'm just going to put balloon launch. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and make it large enough that everybody can see it. You can still see that it kind of blends in with some of the lighter tones of the grass. So I still want to outline it even though you can read it. I've made it really large. All I'm going to do is go scroll down here. On the right hand side, a lot of people don't bother to explore these that much. In fact, most people don't ever change the font, which is a shame because the default font of Helvetica is not very cool. And there are fonts that are a lot better. You can see it's a little bit wiggy, so just bear with me. You might notice I've got fonts you don't, and that's just because I have downloaded things for different projects. If I know I'm going to outline something, I usually try to use something pretty thick. This one kind of looks like balloons, so maybe I'll start with that. As I scroll down on the right hand side, and again, you can minimize or hide this whole menu so you can see the rest of them. Under 3D text, there's a lot of other options. You can take most of the fonts and make them 3D if the computer will let you. It depends on the parameters of the font and how it was created. Under face, if I expand that, we should be able to change the color. Make it any color that we like. And if I want, I should be able to make it gradient. That was having a hard time before. I don't know if it'll let me really change the gradients in here. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So under gradient, you can actually add color stops like you do in other programs, and you can see how it changes in real time. I'm going to go ahead and change this to red. Pull this one over. And there are like color stops in there that allow you to change the colors together. That's kind of fun, isn't it? We should probably do our school colors. Let's try that. There we go. The closer I bring these together, the more you see, you can kind of see how that affects the font in real time. So all I'm trying to do is make it a little bit interesting, but still have something that is legible. As I come down here under outline, again, I have to come over to the right side to hit show. And down below that, I can change the color to something that's a little easier to see. And you're not going to see a whole lot at first because what happened is it is there, but it's really thin. So you just take the width, make it a little bit larger, and you can control just how much of a thickness you want on the outside of those letters. And if I view that in real time, full screen, let's see how that looks. Looks pretty legible. Pretty laggy, but pretty legible. So there you go. How to outline text, and for good measure, how to change it to a gradient. I haven't used texture a lot, and depends on the font if it'll let you do that. Not every font is able to be texturized. And if I just want one color, that kind of works with the white as well. Mostly we're just looking for a contrast. Dark and light should pop out more and be easier to read. We try not to put titles on people's faces, but other than that, you can kind of do whatever you want. If you want to do something really interesting, you can do it in Keynote and actually chroma key it into Final Cut Pro. And sometime this year, maybe we'll talk about that as well. All right, thanks for paying attention, and good luck with your video. Thanks. Bye.